beginning of another. So our main job on this like this is to look at projects we have for the week and then we dissect it together. We look at the question. We may not necessarily have answers to all of the questions. So we just look at the questions and see the insight or the best sense we can make out of it.
Okay.
I don't know if you have a question. I will share my screen now so that you can all see. And then we begin to take the questions one by one. Hopefully we'll do justice to it. Can we see my screen now?
Yes, I can see it.
All right, great, good. So unlike last week, we have 7 questions for those week, or 7
7.
sections. So,
Okay.
so we'll just read through and we'll begin to look at it one by one and see. The main thing we need to do is simplify the questions. So we make sense out of the questions, then we will better help our learning. So this guy is saying our mission is arduous as it is existential, requires us to delve deep into our reservoir of data. It's
I'm
really
sorry, Michael, can you zoom in? I can barely see the screen. It's really small.
okay.
I don't know if it's just me, but I can barely see what's written there. Thank you. Oh, is this for the project too? Maybe I should just go there directly if it's
Yeah, this is project one.
okay. So for the second one,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Let me open it.
All right, so we must magnify our analysis, moving beyond isolated data points to discern large pattern and trends. In this next steps, we will cluster our data, stepping back from the individual figure to gain panoramic understanding. The bird's eye view will allow us to unearth border narratives and hidden correlations concealed within our rich data set. Next, we must pay heed to the different form of data in our possession. They are not mere numbers or dates, they are stories waiting to be deciphered. Their unique structure, though challenging, brim with valuable insight. As we process this, we unlock deep layers of understanding. Bear in mind that each piece of information you decipher, every category you determine, bring us one stride closer to our noble goal. It's through these intricate details and bordered brushstrokes of data that we will uncover the solution of Maji Ndogo's water crisis. Your unwavering commitment to this mission embodies me. Together, we continue marching forward using data and dedication as our compass toward a brighter, more structured future of Maji and Dogo, blah, blah, blah. So all of this now just story. I'll assume that the other part also now story. I'm not a newscaster, so let's just move past all this drama and go down. All right, so yeah, I think this is where it begins to make sense. So before we start, scan through the data dictionary and perhaps query a couple of tables to get a feel for the data sets, for the data again. So one thing I've not confirmed, and which I hope some of us will just probably try and do now, is if we have a new data set. If we are working with the previous one or we have a new one. Maybe I should quickly rush down to my page and see if that is the case. 1 minute, please. So yeah, we are. So in this session, I can't see anything related to data. And it's just MCQ all the way. MCQ all the way.
Michael, click on
Yeah.
12.1. Let's see something. 12.1.
Okay. I'm on 12.1.
So that means we're probably working with the old. We don't know, Sha. Let's continue.
You remember that the last one we worked on, we dropped the data set at the beginning of.
Yeah. Yes.
So I think I don't know.
Wait. Okay. Maybe we are working with the same data set.
Okay. Let's
Maybe. But let's.
maybe. From what I've seen so far, I'm not sure there is anything related to data set anyway here. So let's continue. I think by the time we all go back to our learning space, we'll probably be able to make more sense from there. So it says, okay, bring up the employee table. It has info on all our workers, but note that the email addresses have not been added. So we will have to send them reports and figures. So let's update it. Luckily, the emails for our department are easy. First name dot last name at ondogowater.gov. So everybody's pattern is going to be like this. So yeah, I think this one will make more sense when we start doing it. So first of all, in the first question now, we need to add emails for all of the workers, and then following the pattern that they've created for us, that they've given to us. So we'll take their first name, we take the last name, and then we begin to combine it together in a kind of way, and then yeah. So it says, I'm going to guide you through this one. So code along. We can eliminate the email address for each employee by selecting the employee name column, replacing the space with a full stop, make it lowercase, and stitch it all together. So if I'm going too fast or you are not getting what I'm saying, you can call me back. And if peradventure you want to put more light into what we are reading, please just call me to order so that I'll just give you a pause. All right, so we have to update the database again with this email address. So before we do, let us use a select query to get the format right, then use update and set to make the changes. I don't know if we are supposed to be asking ourselves now, but can anybody share maybe insight on the best way we can go about this, or what you're trying to make us do here? Even though I think the whole thing is right in front of us here. Okay, first up, let's remove the space between the first name and last name using replace. So that's a function, I guess. Replace. You can try this, select, replace, blah, blah, this. Then I think something like quotes, comma, dot. So, and replace the space with a full stop. Kind of. So this is more or less like a comment, I guess. Then from employee, then we can use lower. So introducing another kind of function again, I guess. So lower with the result we just got. Now the name part is correct. So we are trying to convert the entire name after and combining them together and then changing it to lowercase. Make it all lowercase, okay. So then we use concat function, so which is another function. And I think what this is trying to make us see, if I'm correct, is that we can actually combine all of the functions together instead of doing it one by one, one after the other. So you can say concat, put the lower inside it, put the replace inside of it, employee name, and convert it to whatsoever we want to convert it to. Then you can now say comma at this. So we'll just add at mdogowater.gov. We'll add it along as new email. As new email, what is that going to do? I don't know. Does anybody want to share what is as new email going to do in this case now? Guys, anybody? Guys, this is supposed to be interactive. This is not Michael performing magical. So if you have understanding of what we should do, please kindly share so that a lot of us can also learn from that. As new email, what are we trying to do at this point? What would that do for us? By the power bestowed upon me this night, I can call names. So. Guys, Chika, I didn't know you've entered. You're welcome.
Yes, I'm here. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. You're welcome.
A few minutes ago. Thank you.
Yeah. Okwe, you're welcome also. I didn't see you before. Good to have you around. So please, guys, who wants to help us with this thing? You said, Baba?
Oh, I didn't hold you. I said no, voila.
Yeah, I agree with you, especially well done, boss. So please,
Michael.
I'm with you.
Okay, hi. You want someone to explain what the ask is, right?
Yes, as new email.
Okay, the ask new email is just basically the ask keyword assigns, should I say, like a temporary column name, right? So what they are trying to tell us is that this whole result that we just worked on, for the results, you should just assign it as the new email, so you can reference it as this new email. Because technically, how do you reference select, concat, lower, blah 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 blah? You really can't reference it. So just think of it as a temporary column named new email that has the results of this query that was run. At least that's the way I understand it. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for that. Awesome. I don't know if anybody has something to add or you don't agree with what she has just said. You want to add your own Maggi and sugar and curry to make the real delicacy. Anybody? Okay, so if nobody is saying anything, what Pauline just made us understand is that with this ask keyword and this name, this query on a norm, if you run it just like this, I think we'll just have something from what she explained. I think we'll just have a column that does not have a name so that we cannot make use of it anymore. We can just see it. We'll see the combination or the whole joining that we are trying to do. It will come out as a result, but then we may not be able to utilize it anymore. So she is saying that if we combine it this way, then we can now say that we are calling it this name, new email. So that will be a new column that we can reference. All right, thank you, Pauline, for that. So I'm moving. So now, a little step forward. So they are saying that, quick win, since you have done this before, you can go ahead and update the email column, this time with the email address. Just make sure to check if it works. So now, the same query we're trying to run here, they're saying instead of just running this query, they want us to slot this guy in. They want us to take this query that we ran here. We should take that information and bring it down here to update our, how that will work, I don't know, but I think we've created our function. So which is the concat, the lower, the replace, being arranged in that order, and then we are setting it to email, which is already empty from what they said earlier in our data set. The email is empty, so we are assigning this new put together functions into email for all of the employee. Yeah, I think we'll see what that looks like when we start the practical. So he said, I picked up another bit. We have to clean up. Often when databases are created and updated, or information is collected from different sources, errors creep in. For example, if you look at the phone numbers in the phone number column, the values are stored as strings. So the values are strings. So the phone number should be 12 characters long, consisting of the plus sign, area code 99, and the other phone number digits. However, when we use the length, I think this is also a function. Yeah, so the length function mentioning the column name. So we have to specify the column we are looking at. We have to specify inside the length function. It returns 13 characters, indicating there is an extra character along. So select phone. So this is a query we can try to run to see what they are trying to say, how they got the 13 character, I guess. So that's because there is a space at the end of the number. If you try to send an automated SMS to that number, it will fail. This happens so often that they create a function. So especially for trimming off the space called trim. So there is another function we are looking at here called trim. And that function, we accept a column name, and then it can help us, based on what it said, to trim down spaces that are within that character set. So yeah, we have 15 minutes to go. All right. Say it removes any leading or trailing spaces from a string. So if it is either leading or it is within, they said it's going to remove it, and then we won't see any space anymore. Okay, we'll see to that during our practical. So use trim to write a select query again. Make sure we get the strings without the space, and then update the record like you just did for the emails. If you need more information about trim, so we should Google it. All right. So what this is saying is more or less like we should use the trim function now, instead of now using it maybe to query or to select the what's it called out. They want us to use it the way we did in here, and use that trim function to update the phone number, what's it called, column, assigning the phone number that has spaces, and then using the function to trim it out, then reassigning it. That is to my own knowledge. I don't know if any other person wants to put better light to that. Guys, can anybody explain it better, or do you understand what the question is saying in a different way? Anybody? I don't want this to be a boring session where I'm the only one talking. So that's why I'm calling you guys out. Jude, what's up? Judy,
My chief. Yeah.
how you
Good
doing
evening.
now?
Yeah, I'm good, boss. I'm good.
Oh,
Good
very
evening,
well.
everyone.
Well done. Do you think you can put more light to what this question is saying and what is required of us?
I don't really have an understanding of it. I'm still looking at it.
I didn't hear that, please. You are not so audible.
I'm not, I don't have an idea yet, but I'm still looking at it.
Okay. Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
No problem. Miriam, what's up? Good to have you around. Can you hear me, Miriam?
Yes, I can hear you. Good
What's
evening.
up? Good evening. How have you been?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good to hear that. So, do you want to help us with clarification on what this question is saying?
No,
Okay. Okay.
thank you.
Chidima Daniels, you were going to say something, and you're welcome. Hi, Chidima.
Hi, Michael. Good evening.
Good evening.
Sorry, I just came in now. I don't even know what you guys are doing.
Oh, oh, sorry.
I just
Oh,
came in now. Thank you.
you're welcome. Thank you too. So who's going to
Yes.
help us, guys? From all of us that has been listening, oh,
Okay, let me try.
okay.
Okay, the trim function basically is used to remove trading white spaces, right? So from what I understand, I mean I wasn't really following the definition, but from what I understand, they want us to trim the space at the end of the SMS, the phone number, and they want us to trim it because it gives errors. So when we call the trim function on that string, what it's going to do is it's going to remove any space trailing. You know, sometimes you might type something and then you leave a space at the ending,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
that's what they want us to remove. So trim effectively removes any trading white spaces either from the beginning or from the ending of whatever you specify. So that's what the trim function does. So the remaining part about let me read it again. Use trim to write yes. So we get the screen without the space. Okay. Update the record. All right. So they want us to update the phone number record. After
Okay.
doing this trim, we are supposed to update that phone number column with this new with the returned trimmed space. Basically it's just like cleaning up the phone numbers. That's all it's doing. It's just cleaning that up, removing unnecessary spaces depending on how the data was collected,
Okay.
from what I understand. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for that insight.
You're welcome.
All right. So going forward, you say honoring the workers. Before we dive into the analysis, let's get you warmed up a bit. Let's have a look at where our employees live. So use the employee table to count how many employees live in each town. So use the employee table to count how many of our employees live in each town. Think carefully about what function we should use and how we should aggregate the data. So I think this is already telling us that there is aggregation in this query. Okay, so, and I think the aggregation means that we probably need to know the total number of town, or we need to be able to check the town and use that to probably count how many people that live in each of the town. Well, I don't know if anybody would like to maybe explain maybe what they want us to do here. Maybe you want to add the key functions we can use or how we can go about the query. Maybe it's so clear to you. Anybody, please. Feromi, Ganiat, Ope, Below. Yeah, guys, now let's talk. This is supposed to be a roundtable discussion, please. And we have 3 minutes more on this call. If we get cut out, please, let's use the next link. Thank you. All right, Feromi, I saw you. You wanted to say something. Let's go.
Yes, good evening, everybody. So I think they said we're going to be counting the number of employees that live in each town.
Okay.
Okay, I use the employee table to count how many of our employees live in each town. Think carefully about what function. Yeah, so we'll be counting the number of employees that live in each town in the country. We're going to be using aggregate function. Um, we're going to be counting. Count is a function, so we're going to use count the number of employees. Then we're going to group by the town name. So it's going to
Oh,
group number of employees by the town. So it's going to give us a result of the town by number of employees. So our table will be the town name and each number of employees that live in each town.
oh, okay.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
So does that mean that we will call all of our column in the table?
No, we're just going to call the two columns that I want to see, the town name and the employees. We're going
Okay.
to, the select query is going to be select count employee, not just select employee.
Okay. So if we say select count employee,
Yes.
Then,
Comma, then town name.
oh, okay, makes sense now, But
Yes,
you
from
know that we don't have there's no column called count name. So,
count is a function. So it's going
oh,
to be like this, the way distinct works.
okay, I get you now. So when we say the count name, do we now give it a new name? Like,
Yes, as we'll now use as like select count into brackets employee name
oh,
as number of employees or num underscore employees, comma, town name. Yes.
okay, I think it makes more sense. Oh. Thank you so much. Thank you. I don't know. We have less than 1 minute on this call, but if anybody has anything else that you'd like to add to what Fermi has said, I think we should continue from there on the next.
Let me pop in. But this is just a suggestion because right now it's really abstract, right? We're just explaining and trying to understand what we're supposed to be doing. And to be very honest, I don't remember. I didn't cram all the columns, all the tables, and all that. So sometimes it's taking me a minute or two to be like, oh, what is supposed to be here? So I don't know if maybe it's about to end.